Hello, welcome to Clarity Tarot. The question for tonight's reading is going to be, what is driving my nervousness or anxiety? And this is just, for clarification, not going to be a mental health or psychological reading. It's not clinical level anxiety, but just any of those things that are worries that are coming up for us. We may not be sure where they're coming from and what we can do to clear that. So we have 3 piles, starting with pile 1, 2, and 3. I'll let you see what's up here. So first is this bobbly earring. We have this bracelet for pile 2. Pile 3 is the leather feather earring. So take a moment, observe which pile is calling out to you. This is a general reading, so it might not resonate for everybody. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Feel free to like, share, and subscribe for more videos, and I'll see you at your pile. Thank you. Okay, pile 1 with this earring. Aren't these fun? I kind of like these. What is driving your nervousness? We have 2 of Cups, 9 of Wands, King of Wands in reverse, Hierophant in reverse, 3 of Swords in reverse, 4 of Wands in reverse. Okay, so it looks like you're in some kind of partnership, whether that's romantic, business, family, friendship, where this is kind of how you feel. You've got the 2 of Cups, so that's partnership, reciprocity, mutual love and affection. But the 9 of Wands is, you can see this person here. They're a little defensive. They're thinking, how am I going to make this work? How am I going to get to the finish line here? And they're not so sure whether that's going to happen or not. So kind of stressed out. So definitely already I'm getting a picture that some of your stress may be coming from pulling too much weight in a particular relationship. And then the rest of the spread is kind of showing why. Well, first of all, we have the King of Wands in reverse. So I'm getting this as signifying the person you're in relationship with. So King of Wands upright, he's a great character, very charismatic, entrepreneurial, kind of exciting to be around, talkative, well-spoken, has his shit together, and in a very attractive way. Not necessarily sexually attractive, although that could be true, but just generally draws people and things into him. I say him because it's the King of Wands, but it's a gender neutral energy. And then we have the Hierophant reversed. So there's something about this situation that is either untraditional, flies in the face of convention, or is something literally about breaking some of those conventions apart. And that is a source of your stress as well. It's almost like you're in uncharted territory. You don't know what the rules are here. You don't know what to do. You're also on the backside putting the pieces of your heart back together. I don't know if it's with this person or not. I think that'll be different for different ones of you coming to this reading. But I would say for the vast majority of you, it is specifically related to this situation. Like this King of Wands person, I think might have kind of cut your heart out, pile 1. And then 4 of Wands in reverse. So 4 of Wands is a pretty public card. It's about community, home, celebration. And with that reversed, it's like there's a threat to your security, to your belonging, to your sense of home, to who you are as a person, as well as how you're perceived in society. So like your image is under threat. So I'm getting for some of you, this is maybe like a long-term committed relationship that's kind of under stress right now. And for others of you, it might be a business partnership where you have to give a particular face to public about how things are going, but it's not the reality of how things really feel. So, yeah, why are you feeling nervous or anxious? This is a very legitimate situation to feel pretty freaked out about. Just seeing if I'm getting anything else from the initial spread here. The main theme that's coming across to me about what is driving the anxiety, pile one, is um yeah, you're just in totally uncharted waters. You don't know how to act in this situation. You've never been here before. Most people you know haven't either. So there's few people you can even really rely on for guidance or expertise in this area. And you're just trying to figure it out a bit at a time. You're trying to work really hard. You're trying to um, not backslide in any area and focus on your partnership with this person. But I feel that the anxiety is building. I want to know about person number two in this relationship. I'm assuming this King of Wands reversed character. How are they experiencing this relationship? Tell me about the King of Wands, Six of Pentacles, Queen of Pentacles, King of Wands again. Knight of Swords on the bottom of the deck. So this person's actually coming through as rather secure. I'm going to clarify from this deck as well. I don't read reversals in the playing card deck. So I just want to make sure I'm not missing anything. Anything else about pile one's person and how they're experiencing things here? Eight of Swords reversed. And the Devil. Queen of Wands reversed at the bottom of the deck. So now we have a King and a Queen of Wands reversed. How are they experiencing this? Well, Six of Pentacles is about giving and generosity. Queen of Pentacles, she's kind of the mistress of the home environment and family. And then King of Wands we talked about already. I'm going to interpret it upright. And then the Devil and the Eight of Swords reversed. Well, you could be dealing with a Capricorn with a Devil showing up. That's a Capricorn card. So that might be a confirmation for some of you. I think this person has the view that they've invested a lot. They've built into a home environment. They've been entrepreneurial and kind of master of their own domain in a way, as well out in the marketplace as well as at home. But they feel kind of bound to whatever relationship they have with you. But that's those binds are starting to loosen with the Eight of Swords reversed, or they're realizing that this connection doesn't have to be one that makes them feel restricted or like they've lost their freedom. I think this is a very new realization for this person, actually, that they're seeing that maybe what I'm getting from this is that they felt some kind of constriction from being in this relationship with you, and they may be coming to the realization that has less to do with you and perhaps something else, some other attachment in their life with the Devil, which could be any kind of addiction or codependency. There may be just actually a movement away from codependent behavior in general for them. They're trying to figure that out. I want to look back at your initial spread for a second. Let me just move these out of the way. I'm sorry you won't be able to see them that clearly for a moment. Okay, it's all clicking into place. So their side is they're wanting to totally rewrite the rules of engagement between you and them. So that's very uncomfortable no matter what, especially if you've been in a connection with somebody for a long time. Like, let's say this is your sister or brother and you've always interacted a particular way, and overnight they're saying, I don't ever want to text you again. I only want to talk on the phone, and I want us to get together every 3 months in person because I really value in-person communication. And let's read a book together and have intellectual discussions. And it's all kind of like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Not that I mean that's bad, but like, I almost don't even recognize you anymore. What am I supposed to do with this? And I think there's always kind of a grief process with that when there's a radical shift in a relationship. So it's a really rocky period. So I think that's what's indicated here. How does this person feel about you, though? I mean, because we all want to know that, right? How does this King of Wands character feel about pile one? Okay. Well, that's interesting. So Four of Swords. This is the meditation card. So in other decks, and I'm sorry, I apologize for the state of my nails. I dyed my hair purple actually 1 or 2 weeks ago, and anytime I style it, just touching it, I get this purple all over my fingers that I'm having a lot of trouble getting rid of. So if anybody has a trick for that, let me know, because I feel a little embarrassed walking around with what looks like 2 weeks of dirt under my fingernails, but it's actually just from curling my hair that day. Anyway, I digress. Four of Swords. So a lot of times this card in other tarot decks is depicted as like a knight after the Crusades. I heard this story recently that apparently after a knight went on a crusade, they would come back for a time, actually lay on a grave or on a coffin or some kind of platform that mimicked that experience of having passed away, and reflect on their experiences, reflect on their life, reflect on the fact that they hadn't died, and kind of use that as a transition into their new life. If anyone has more information to share about that, please share in the comments, because I found that kind of interesting and just came across like a blurb about it the other day. So in answer to the question, how does your person feel about you? Well, they're kind of not sure, I guess. I mean, there's some sense of deep commitment here from the prior cards, but they're meditating on it. They're taking a break. If this Devil card is some kind of like codependency or healing, release of what's happening, then the Four of Swords would be that kind of part of that meditation analysis process for them to go through. So I think the answer is they're not sure how they feel about you right now. They know they feel committed and a sense of loyalty. They know that they've felt very trapped in the past, and that can't continue and have the relationship last. Beyond that, they're taking the space that they need to allow things to rise to the surface. So I get that this person is at the same time not treating you in a way that meets your needs whatsoever, but also I think they are taking a look at their own behavior and their own patterns and seeing what they need to do and what needs to change here. I want to clear these for a second and then pull some advice for you. So I'll put these back in my deck here. So what can pile one do to take care of themselves, particularly with this kind of nervousness and unsettled feeling and anxiety that they're experiencing. How can this person take care of themselves? Seven of Swords reverse and Seven of Wands. That's interesting. Well, two sevens, first of all. Seven of Wands is look how far you've come and maintain your progress. So Seven of Wands, what comes up for me is, let's say you're in a battle and you've taken the high ground. Don't lose that high ground. Don't let anybody overtake your position. Fight those people off. I'm not sure how much I should swear on this channel. Fight those other gentlemen or ladies off with these big sticks you've got here. Seven of Swords in reverse is tell the truth, be authentic, own where you're at. If you're exhausted with this person and they're giving you nothing, I mean, the response is not to try to give more to that person. It's to say, I'm exhausted. I can't give more here. I need to take care of myself. I need to do some of my own reflection. I need to let you do your thing and I'll do my thing. I just want to see if there's anything else here. This one strikes me as like a really powerful message here. Like just tell the truth to yourself, first of all. I don't think you're outright lying to people around you. I'm sure you don't always tell everybody everything because they don't need to know, but you need to at least tell it to yourself. Other advice for pile one. King of Swords. Wow, lots of advice for you from this deck. Four of Pentacles and Seven of Pentacles. I'm actually having a moment. Four of Pentacles. Okay, yeah. It took me a second to remember the Four of Pentacles. Have I mentioned that I'm just like recently learning tarot, so be gentle with me. Anyway, King of Swords, Four of Pentacles, Queen of Wands, Seven of Pentacles. Yeah. So what I'm getting with this is definitely that you don't want to maintain the generosity that you've had in the past that was suggested in the prior spread. Not that you're going to be stingy or hateful with this person. I don't think that's the point. But Seven of Pentacles, I mean, in the tarot deck, Seven of Pentacles is this person like planting little seeds and then just kind of resting on their hoe or whatever, pitchfork, I don't know what you farm with. And watching to see if those seeds grow or not. So I think that's the position that's suggested for you is if you're going to make any investment, drop a few little seeds and just see how they take in the ground of this relationship, if it's fertile or not. Queen of Wands is, I think, for you to be more solid in your fiery nature, in your ability to find what inspires you. And I'm getting, especially with this combination of the King of Swords, I'm getting for you, this is more like intellectual pursuits. Like find what stimulates your mind, what makes you feel at home. I'm getting also, by the way, pile one, that you're more of a brainy type. Like it's very important for you to be very centered, grounded in your mind. And so that's what's indicated here. To get like maybe self-care for you isn't a massage or psychotherapy. It's more reading a book about some really obscure topic, I don't know, maybe like a rare species of beetle from the Himalayas, if that's even a thing. Something that like just really interests you and that lights your fire a little bit. Give yourself that. And then the Four of Pentacles is kind of like being miserly, but not in a bad way. Miserly is a bad term. Um, what's a way to say that it's more accurate? Just don't be so generous. Like we know that you can do that and that you're great at that, but obviously that's not what this situation needs, or it would have been solved by now. What you need is to hold back a little bit, conserve your resources in every way, and focus on you and makes you happy. So I hope that resonated, pile one. I'd love to hear about your story. If you want to mention anything in the comments, like, share, and subscribe. Yeah, thank you for coming. Hope to see you again. Okay, pile two, what is making you nervous and what can you do about it? Okay, and I should remind you, I hope I did this for the last pile. This is not psychological advice. So if you have like a specific anxiety or mental health concern, definitely go to the appropriate professional for that. But let's look at what's been bothering you and worrying you lately. So Five of Wands, some conflict, some holding back, the Four of Pentacles, Page of Wands, which is some like childlike impulsive energy, and then we also have the Nine of Swords, which for me is kind of the anxiety, depression, nightmares card. So this to me indicates that there might actually be a mental health component for you that you want to address. But beyond that, let's look at what's making you nervous. What's standing out to me here is the Four of Pentacles, actually. I mean, do you see how she's kind of like cuddling with this little pentacle, like holding on for dear life? I'm getting it that this for you, like there's some kind of congestion for you, perhaps in your throat chakra or your heart chakra, that needs to be cleared. Like it's almost like you're not using your voice, you're holding back when you should speak. There might be some conflict or just nonsense going on around you that you're not saying anything about. And I think occasionally maybe you get into this Page of Wands energy where you dip your toe into not exactly speaking your mind, but taking a small action here or there. But what's indicated here, I think, is really that you need to release. Like there's some stagnant energy. It's almost like, I don't know if you can see the imagery on this card. There's some like accusing ghost-like figures. But what's coming up for me about this is it's reminding me a little bit of a swamp. And I feel like your mental, emotional body is a bit of a swamp right now, in the sense that it needs to be drained, it needs to be dried out, it needs to be cleared, and then you would feel so much better. I'm curious how should that happen? Because I don't know that you want to get in the middle of this, right? I mean, look at these 5 people with their sticks. You don't want to like jump in the middle of that group and be like, hey everybody, calm down. I don't know that that's the best idea. There's 5 of them and 1 of you, and you're just learning to use your voice and clear this energy out. So yeah. Ace of Wands. Do I want more? No, I don't think I do. Yeah. So even though it's the ace versus the page, I'm getting that this is kind of like an upgrade to what you've been doing before. Like let that fire, that frustration, that irritability, that angst rise in your body, number 2. I can get that you're feeling it. Like it's leaking out in multiple ways. And I also am really getting that you don't want to be a jerk. You don't want to come across as unstable or unfair or unreasonable, or like you don't want to say something that people like tiptoe out of the room. You're not that person. So you don't need to worry about overnight becoming that person if you speak your mind. What's indicated here is, do you see how there's just like all this energy that's like almost spiraling up through this wand here? If you're a person that meditates, which I'm getting the sense that maybe you do, really focus the next time that you do that on the buildup of that energy in you. Like where is it coming from? Is it grief? Is it anger? Is it frustration, disgust, sadness, love, even whatever it is? Let that rise up through all of your chakras. Maybe do a chakra meditation. And then at the end of that meditation, find a way to discharge that energy. I don't care what it is. I mean, you can find your own guidance about what that exactly should be. I think it'll be different for each of you. But you need to not only let that energy rise in you, but then practice expressing it. And if you do that in some safe spaces through meditation or with friends or even with like helping professionals, whether that's some kind of energy worker or psychotherapist or coach or even like a good friend or accountability partner, if you practice letting that energy come up inside of you and then dispelling it in a way, you're going to notice like the relief that comes from that and how empowered and centered and with yourself that you feel. Because the major theme I'm getting here is how you're not with yourself. You're not on your own team. I get that you're trying to just be okay, not hurt anyone else and not hurt yourself, but you're not allowing yourself to fully participate. And I'm noticing with this reading too, like I'm feeling very more expressive. I'm wanting to get this out in some way. So maybe even something like exercise or even like Tai Chi or some kind of martial arts could help you. But actually, nah, not so much. I mean, that's kind of a cop out. You need a place where you can express what's rising up in you, if not verbally, through writing, through some kind of platform where you're showing up and you're saying, I am here and here's what I have to say. And you don't have to listen to me forever, and it's not going to be your problem necessarily, but I'm taking this corner of the earth. It's reminding me a bit of, so I work with a personality system called the Enneagram, if any of you guys have ever heard of that, if any of y'all have ever heard of that. And it's broken into head, heart, and gut centered types. This is going to be a long explanation, isn't it? Well, I'm just going to go for it. And all of us, whether or not, so there's 3 types in the gut center, 8, 9, and 1. And whether or not you are one of those types, each of us have a way that we show up in our physical body. And so type 8 is kind of the aggressive, like I'm here, deal with me energy in the most positive way possible. These are all value neutral, by the way. It's just like how the energy shows up. It's almost like if they physically take up this much space in a room, energetically they want this much. And even like their body language, they're like, draped across things and taking up more space than necessary. Type 9, by the way, just fast forward if you're not interested in this part. Fast forward, is that even a thing? Advance the video? Yeah, I'm just noticing how many, like, I don't know, generational things I'm saying. Okay, type 9. Type 9 is kind of the opposite. Like they almost want to like slink into a room and not be noticed. If they take up this much space in a room, they want to actually energetically take up this much. So their energy is very pulled in. They tend to be leaned back. They're very receptive to others, can tend towards passivity, very healing energy, receptive and passive. Again, like there's a place for it. It's value neutral. And then the last one is type 1, which is very like controlled, like everything buttoned up, like starch collar, straight spine, gliding into a room, like very graceful. But what people don't always see is how rigid it can feel on the inside, which is also important at times, right? You need to be kind of like sucked in, and is everything the way it should be? Are all of my vertebra aligned. So why am I mentioning that? I'm guessing that you're either closer to the 9 or 1 way of holding yourself. Like you're either like buttoning it up or you're trying to constrict it. And what's indicated here is you need to take up more space than how you physically feel, at least for a short time, so that you can understand how that flows in your body, so that you can express it, so that you can tap into that part of yourself so that it can let the rest of you flow. You're never going to be an aggressive, overbearing, terrible person. Not that that's terrible, but it might sound terrible to you. And I think that's the fear. I mean, we all avoid qualities that we've had a really bad experience with or have a bad opinion about. And there's something about you that maybe even in like your childhood, you had an experience where people were very irresponsible with their aggressive or out there energy. And so what's indicated here is for you to reclaim that, for you to change that narrative, for you to heal that story by showing up for yourself in a way that advocates for you, that isn't harmful or abusive to others, but is, I am here and this is what I have to say and this is what I'm experiencing. So there's any number of ways you can do that. Pile 2, I think you probably get the message. I'm really excited for you because going from kind of this swampy experience to letting that come through you, you're going to feel so much relief. Please let me know how it goes. Let me know if this resonated for you at all. Like, share, subscribe. Thanks for coming. Okay. Pile 3 with the leather feather earring. Let's see what's making you nervous. Wheel of Fortune, the World in reverse, Knight of Wands in reverse, King of Cups in reverse. This makes you nervous, does it? Yeah, I can see why that would happen. I just need, before I say anything, I want to clarify the Wheel of Fortune here. Wow. Clarifying with 4 cards. Do I want to take all these? I guess I'm gonna. Lovers in reverse, the Fool, Justice in reverse, Knight of Swords. What's with all the major arcana for you, pile 3? What is going on in your life? Do you hear my neighbors and their music next door? Can I just tell you that since day 1 of the pandemic, there's been like a party in the parking lot next door, which depending on, which pandemic stage we've been in, I've either been staring at longingly or judging them for not having masks and being social. There's a range. We all